It's contract renewal time, so think about if this is where you still want to be. We can try and negotiate a better deal here, but we also have the chance to look elsewhere.
Well, hello everyone, welcome back to another video of the F1 2021 Driver Career Mode with Mercedes, episode number 41 today for the Hungarian Grand Prix of Season 3, round number 9. If you missed the previous episode uploaded last Thursday at Silverstone, recommend go and check that out, and of course subscribe if you're new to the channel. See plenty more F1 2021 Driver Career Mode videos, but of course we've got to renegotiate our contract with Mercedes. It's just a formality at the moment. We are going to try and approach them. We're going to go for medium risk, just to see if we'd be easier. Being too many negotiations entering as a low risk for me. So we'll see if that goes into demand. Not that we ever get to see the bulk of that 9.8 million. So in actual fact, we've only got 500. We're actually going to see 500,000. We're going to spend that on some media coaching so we can tell Claire to go away even more. And there we go. So that also just not affect the morale, the claims. We try to, of course, upgrade R&D facilities as well. You see durability on low, morale, not that we need them at the moment. Speaking of upgrades, of course, we've going to put an aero upgrade. It's going to come in for the... I thought about rushing it for Hungary, but then I decided we might as well just put the front one. I thought about putting the front one on, but I've decided to go for the rear one, just to sort of go for it, and then we can. That one's the one that we've got discount on at the moment. We're going to go for the front one at a later date. Hopefully, try and get both on in time for Belgium. I don't know, but coming into this one, then, well, we've gone from being the fourth best team, to being the best team on the grid. That's how much that ultimate weight reduction upgrade. That's what's done to our car, but it's super duper close between the top four teams. We're separated by a pixel. We're that close. Ferrari, funny enough, the team in fourth place, are the team that don't look like they're actually there compared to where they are on paper, compared to the Mercedes, McLaren and Red Bull, all of who have won races this season. Ferrari have not, but will this be the time for Ferrari to show that they can win races in the hand of either Leclerc or Sainz? To be fair, Sainz was robbed at Monaco with that glitch. So it isn't all Ferrari's fault, but yes, moving to then qualifying for the, well, let's just say Hungary. It's not a good track for me. I'm just so slow. The middle sector, I just lose so much time to the AI. It's a joke. And as we stand, it's down. We're down in P11, so usual stuff going on for qualifying. We're behind Gasly in the third to worst car, so Gasly deserves a better race seat in this series because he's been doing a stellar job for AlphaTauri, taking on the Alpines, the Williams in a car that really is stepping above his weight. They shouldn't be up that far. I mean, we haven't even Snowder's been qualifying way down the order, and I don't think he's even scored a point at all, or if he has, it's not that many, where Gasly's been on and off scoring there or thereabouts to be able to score points. But anyway, back to our lap. Whereas 10th and a half up, 2 tenths up on our previous bet. Now that's not going to be enough, way in to where we really want to be. We're looking for a top 4 fit qualifying performance at every Grand Prix, and we've only achieved that once, and that was at Baku, and we had a penalty because of Gasly as well. 3.5 tenths up coming through in the final sector, but I don't know. Again, I've revised the setup slightly, but not hugely. It's not. I can't do a lot comparing the difference, and in the end, it's P10, which is the best qualifying I've had at Hungary since 1947. But it's also not that great, and considering the fact that where the car is fastest on paper to qualify P10 when Lewis Hamilton is on the front row, Leclerc fastest of all, interestingly. So it's going to be interesting to see what I can do from 10th, what we can all do, what Leclerc and Hamilton can do at the front of the grid. It's time though for the race.
Welcome to Budapest once again for another round of the Formula One World Championship. Historically a good race for first victories, with Button, Hill, Alonso and Heikki Kovalainen all reaching the top step of the podium for the first time here. Located 12 miles northeast of the Hungarian capital Budapest, the 14 corners of the Hungaroring are steeped in history and prestige. Overtaking has always been difficult on this technical 2.7 mile circuit, but the last few years in particular have turned up some exceptional races. Let's hope we're in for another one here today. Anthony Davidson, a lot of talented drivers out on the track today, but what will stand out for you?
Well, Crofty, my focus is 100% on the front of the grid. Like you said, we're seeing lots of strong competition across those positions, so it would be super interesting to see the fight for that front spot. Personally speaking, I'm hoping for plenty of overtakes.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday puts him on pole, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Stroll, Ricciardo, Carlos Sainz and Verstappen, Fernando Alonso, Norris, Ocon and Mercedes, Giovinazzi, Gasly, George Russell and Perez, Latifi, Vettel, Yuki Tsunoda and Nikita Mazepin, Mick Schumacher and Guan Yu Zhou. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
So here we are on the grid then. Race strategy. There's a chance to extend the soft tyre stint should we have the pace. We're going to go with lap 6, but we can always go to lap 7 as was suggested there. So we've got options here, but it's going to be a one stop from soft to mediums then. 5 lights then for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go, and it's a poor start for Lando Norris ahead. Ocon has actually jumped in. We had to close off Gasly on that outside and try not to do a Schumacher. Down the inside of Norris, as he tries to squeeze, he's got Ocon on the outside. We take a little bit of curve, there's a little bit of tyre back between myself and Norris. We're going down the hill, he squeezed out Ocon, we're going to try and go around the outside. He's turning into a move. We've actually gone really wide, we're going to turn it into a move on Alonso. A great little comeback there, move there, through that corner. As well as we went side by side with Norris down the hill. He had, of course, down the inside line, and then of course Norris got blocked up by Alonso. We went right round the outside of Alonso, turned the inside of the next corner. Beautiful little move there on Fernando Alonso, exactly with the type of move we want to see. And also, like we want to see, is that our championship rivals Ricciardo and Verstappen are known not even in the podium places, because it's Hamilton from Leclerc from Stroll. Ricciardo is P4, Verstappen only P6. As we're watching, Nikita Mazepin is out of the race with an engine failure. Not that anyone cares, to be honest. So, yes, unfortunately for us, I have no pace around this. You can see that by the fact that only on lap 5, Verstappen is 6.5 seconds up the road as Alonso seeks revenge. He's blocked us off there. We've had to take avoiding action against the experienced Spaniard driver. Remember at Silverstone, we made contact there. And then this was a huge dive bomb. I had nowhere to go there. Absolute nowhere to go to make the corner. He just I've seen it go side by side. We did it in my team, that move, where we go side by side through that corner. But Alonso gave me no room. And the tyres are overheating. Left rear is overheating. We're going to have to come at the end of this lap, because this is another reason why I have absolutely no pace. Is because the tyres are overheating. It means that Zandvoort is going to be painful as well. So this is frustrating that the AI, it was on last year's game, it's on this year's game as well. It's the tyre temperatures. It's frustrating that the AI do not experience the same tyre temperatures that the player does, which is very frustrating as a player. unfortunately. So we're having to come in for an early stop then. As there's yellow flags up ahead, we'll see what's happening now. It's Sergio Perez in the Aston Martin that's had a Spinala at turn 1, and round he goes. And he keeps out of the wall, to be fair to him, but he's lost a whole load of positions, and now he's running pretty much in last place. But the Aston Martin have had an up race since 1976, so it's an easy move for me. Even I'm faster than Perez at this moment in time, and that's saying something. It's an easy move with DRS down the inside up into P16. As we now start to make our move, but we're watching Lawrence Stroll battling Perez's teammate Sebastian Vettel, our old teammate from season 2. Stroll is around the outside. Stroll's starting to have a good season. Ricciardo is right behind him, as is Leclerc, Sainz, excuse me, and Verstappen. All of them though far away, as we're now weaving all over the place. Alonso's coming back at us with DRS. He tries to go on the outside at turn 1. We're going to force him out here, given the taste of his own medicine from the previous one. That's going to allow Esteban Ocon, Alonso's teammate, to come back at him. And Alonso and Ocon are going to go side by side through to turn 3. And they're still going side by side. They're still going side by side to turn 4, into the middle sector, still side by side. They're going side by side this entire time. And this time, Alonso does give Ocon room. And that's how you go side by side through this corner, and eventually Alonso loses out to Ocon there. But the Alpine squabbling has allowed me to get away there. But one person who is on the move is Lando Norris. He tried to overcut everyone, hasn't worked. He's now on the hard tyres for some unknown reason, stupid reason really. But he's now catching up with the Williams, who aren't that too far behind their Alpine's cars. Not sure what happened to Gasly. He was there in the early part of the race, but now has fallen away. As I'm now sort of experimenting with different lines, trying to be quicker through this latter half of the race. Just a little bit boredom and got a little bit too much on the curb there, and paid the price really there. We'll show a little replay because we've got the aerial shot. You see how much curbing now, trying to go very aggressive on the curbs, and it just spins me off. Luckily not to get any damage, and at that moment I just thought, well, we'll just bring it home for P7 really. And that's exactly what we did. I mean, Ocon and Alonso did have some good race pace compared to me. The medium tyres were slightly overheating, not as much as the softs though. So we come through the final corner. I mean, it's been a woeful race really. It's been one that I knew would be bad, and it's been, let's just say, I will definitely take P7. It's more points on the board. Our rivals have had equally not that great races. We've outscored Norris as well, who can only finish ahead of both Williams in P10 as well. But crucially, Ricciardo and Verstappen, who are the closest championship rivals, have only outscored me by a handful of points. They're not on the podium today, which is good news for me. So it's damage limitation, and I'll definitely take that. But my fastest lap, 2.1 seconds slower than Hamilton, just showing how poor my race pace was today. Really unfortunate there, because Hungary used to be a good track on F1 2019, and then on recent years with the tyres overheating, it is as such come a bad track. Ricciardo now is really the main person now. He's 14 points behind with that. That's not too far behind really. I mean, it only takes a couple of races, and people like Norris and Sainz could be back in touch. Norris had a terrible race today as well, but Hamilton's race win allows us to extend our gap at the top, because we were 4 points, I think it was, separating the top 3. So we now got a little bit of breathing room in the Constructors' Championship, at least with Hamilton's first win of the season.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts. You gained a lot of positions during the race, didn't you?
Not as many as I'd like, to be honest. I'm going to praise the aero package because we need to get those new upgrades. I did think about possibly or maybe even the Sashi side, you know, just to try and get those upgrades. We've got race
Did you feel that
upgrades to
things
come.
went well for you today?
No, this is not the result we needed. We need to be outperforming everyone at every Grand Prix, really. We could have done a whole lot better today, considering the result. And we know at some point we probably due and we're overdue, really, an engine failure in this series as well. So at some point that's probably going to happen.
Great. Well, that's everything.
So there we go. And that rear wing upgrade is going to come in. Unfortunately, we haven't got quite enough R&D points for the front downforce one, and even worse, it's not actually going to come in until after Belgium. So that's a little bit frustrating on that part, that we can't get it out the door and put on the car as well. So a little bit frustrating there. A frustrating day, to be fair, with the race, the tyres, just as well. Alonso tried to get revenge. It didn't work out for him, to be fair. And in the end, he actually lost out. We actually gave him a taste of his own medicine, forced him out turn 1, and he actually lost out to Ocon. Ocon 2 8th places in a row. Alpine look okay. They're starting to be trying to outscore Williams as well. Williams didn't score today. As well, so they're starting to outscore Williams as well, and AlphaTauri as well. Gasly not scoring the past couple of races as well, so they're on the move as well up the grid as well. So we'll see what happens with that little bit of a battle. I suspect Russell's slightly a little bit too out of reach for all those other drivers potentially. We'll see as well. But in terms of our big battle, Belgium is next. We should be able to do better there. Sector 2 is terrible on this year's game. Unfortunately, Pouhon is a nightmare. But the first sector, we should be able to absolutely mince the AI. And the final sector as well should be okay as well. Not too much better there, but bearing in mind that's on previous seasons, hopefully the straight line speed and the aero advantage that we got should give us the advantage over the rest of the field as well. And then, of course, really, we've got those final 5 races where we should be okay to secure for good results. But never say never in Formula 1. We never know what's going to happen in a race, when we could end up having an absolute terrible race like we had at Britain or Hungary or even Canada, and probably even an engine retirement at some point as well. But anyway, if you have enjoyed this video, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you see plenty more F1 2021 driver career mode videos as when they come out. Until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, thanks so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.